Today I have a Demon 600 carburetor that's leaking because I stripped the bowl bolt. As you can see there, even the bowl is empty because it's leaked it all out. The secondary bowl's got fuel in it. So when I go to start it, it takes forever to pump it up, you know, and start it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap it, thread it, and use a helicoil to repair it. With using this kit right here from Amazon. It's an easy coil repair kit, and that's the thread and pitch. There's the kit. I think I paid like maybe 40 bucks for it or so. And they're kind of expensive. But first thing I'm going to do is pull off the carburetor, pull the bowl off, and start by drilling, tapping, inserting the insert with this tool here, and putting it back together. Now I've disconnected my fuel filter. Right now would be a good time to replace any cracked lines, dry rotted lines, fuel filter too. Any gaskets, any issues right now would be wise to take care of while you have the carburetor out. I'm going to recommend you have a magnet for these washers to keep them from falling in the carburetor or onto the intake. You can see here. Grab it. There you go. It's also a good time to clean your battery terminals. Apparently, they're horrible, and it's almost a brand new terminal and battery. It's from my last video when I installed the starter. Right.
Or like a part-time job?
Well, unfortunately, I wasn't recording, but took off the bowl, the meter, and now I'm looking at the gasket, and part of it tore a little bit. You have to pull it off. Trying to see where this thing is stripped at. Or is it just the bolt? Threads are kind of weak. But doesn't look bad. I'll run a tap through it just in case. This thing's gonna make a liar out of me. It sure was leaking. Might just replace the gasket, so it doesn't look to be too bad. I am going to run a tap through it though. This is good. Might rethread that or clean the threads up on this. Yeah, I think it's this bolt that's messed up. It almost looks like helicoil already in there. I freaking slipped and cut myself. That hurt. Never fails. Always doggone hurt myself. Even a simple project like this. Yeah, it doesn't appear to be anything wrong with that. Threads are pretty sharp. It's threading in good over here. This good, known good bolt. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's that bolt. I need to replace that. So I won't be tapping, but I will be running this bolt's threads, or maybe getting a new one. See if I can find something like this. Okay, so I've got my handy dandy threader here, thread repair kit, ratchet, the bolt I'm going to redo threads on. It's pretty much started. Nice and easy, slow. Make sure you don't ruin what you do have. Once it starts, then you start running that thread. Sharpening it right now. I'm going to run it all the way through. It's a 1224. For some reason, these two bolts won't run through the holes very good. I'm just going to clean up the threads. I recommend have one of these thread repair kits in your inventory. Never hurts. Don't use it often, but when you need it, it's nice to have. There you go, nice and sharp there. Nice sharp threads. And that here, see if it does any better. It would start, but it would bind up before by hand. It's going. Bottomed out there. It's nice and tight. Yeah. Just can't get a good grip on it. there. Started. This is the one causing the initial problems. See, I've already got through the rough part. It's already through the smooth now. I could tell the difference. I didn't want to go through it first. I'm still going to run it all the way down. Okay, back it out now. Back and forth in this rough area here a little bit. There it goes. Nice and sharp again. Yeah, it's threading in nice over here. All right. Just reverse the process, put the metering block back in. Put the bowl back in. I might just go ahead and replace these gaskets while I'm here. So I'm gonna go to the store and go get some. Okay, so I went to O'Reilly's. I used to go to AutoZone, but they didn't have what I needed. Just some coolant to top off the radiator. But here's the gaskets that I needed. This is for Holly, Demon, and Quick Fuel. Part number 12370. It's about, I think, 19 bucks, 20 bucks, something like that. So some vacuum hose for my distributor to go from my carburetor to my distributor vacuum canister. Some fuel line. A cool fuel pressure gauge for my fuel line. And carburetor choke cleaner. That's it. Okay, I cleaned off the surface as good as I could. There's a lot of residue left from this gasket. They're supposed to be non-stick, but as you can see here, it got ripped up pretty good. Here's the new one. The new gaskets. I'm going to go ahead and start putting it back together. As you can see, there's alignment pins to hold the gaskets together. Put the metering plate in. Same thing. There's guide plates or guide prongs for these posts, I guess. That's what I'm going to call them. make sure you get your accelerator pump underneath this screw right here, or bolt. Now you'll be taking it apart again. Started by hand first. This is the one that was stripped. I just noticed I knocked the crap out of that thing. Bolt not going in right. For some reason that one's not going in. There it goes. Very carefully tighten these down. Very carefully tighten these up. Cross, tighten them till they seat. This one now. This. Feels like it grabbed. Very little tension on it. Once it stops turning, the bolt stops turning, you stop. Might have to go over it, retorque it again. Once a gasket seats or compresses a little bit, it'll probably leak a little bit too until you tighten it up, maybe 2 or 3 times. But definitely don't want to over tighten right now. Alright, I feel comfortable right there. Looks like it should be alright. Got a new base gasket also. This one looked like it ripped. There's some stuck to it. It's best to do this all while you have everything apart right now. Whatever needs to be replaced or anything you want to add on to it, be best to do it right now, including fuel filter and gaskets, hoses. It sucks to have to take things apart a few times. Best to do it all while it's apart now. A little bit of foreshadowing. Set for the carburetor cleaner. Alrighty, I'll set this on the carb, on the engine. Okay, so I have everything tied up. New vacuum hose for my vacuum canister. New base gasket, carburetor base gasket. New pressure gauge, fuel pressure gauge. All right, about to start her up. Probably gonna take a few cranks. Pick up fuel to the carburetor. There you go. I don't see any leaks so far. It's going crazy. As long as they don't go over 7, we're all right. But I know I've got fuel pressure. Oh, I see a leak. Yep. So these are the gaskets and hoses that I pulled off of the Mustang yesterday, and might have saved myself a lot of trouble. This hose here comes from the gas tank through the filter, fuel filter, and feeding the carburetor. This thing was so dry rotted, and when I started, it started squirting fuel out of it, and that was just me moving it to put it on the filter, put the new filter on it. And this was cracked at the hose clamp, so I might have just saved myself a lot of trouble. And to think, it's lack of maintenance on my part. I drove it like 900 miles to San Antonio in one of my videos to my grandmother's funeral. And stuff like this was why my car was not running right, it seemed like. Had a vacuum leak at the base. And gaskets like this. Although one of the bolts was stripped, these gaskets were bad. And I saved myself a lot of trouble, like I said. This was between the filter and this line. So, definitely look at all your stuff, especially if you're running a carbureted car. Rubber lines, they don't last forever. So this is with the new lines, filter, carburetor base gasket. My wife and I went for a drive, and she said, "Did you do something to the car? It sounds different." She said it sounded louder, so even she heard a difference. So it must have been a vacuum leak this whole time. And I would adjust the carburetor and it would act right, but I had to really rich it up, because I guess it was getting too much air. It seemed to run better too. She was talking about a surge, and I never really felt the surge, but she's pays attention quite a bit, and I just drive, and I got used to it, I guess. But she would always say the car feels like it's surging. She didn't notice that this time, and she noticed that it seemed louder to her for some reason. Just a little rumble. Okay, well, that wraps it up for me. I'll pop the hood real quick. see the end product before I sign off. Alright, thanks for watching. See you next time.